So Gemini 3.5 is rumored to be out next week, and what I want to do in this video is show you all of the leaks, all of the information, and give you guys a real picture for where this model is going to be. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is the AI model release timeline, because not enough people are talking about the fact that Google are essentially a bit behind. If we look at this timeline, and this might be confusing, but all it is essentially the timelines between OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. And essentially it's an overlay of where the time should be for how models have been released. So but Google released Gemini 3 Flash in December, Gemini 3.1 Pro in February, and May 19th was their last, multimodal model release, excluding Omni. But if we look at the other AI companies, OpenAI and Anthropic, both of them are shipping essentially as twice as fast as Google. OpenAI have shipped GPT 5.4, GPT 5.5, and they're about to ship GPT 5.6, whereas Anthropic have shipped Opus 4.8, Claude Fable 5, and Sonnet 5. That's 3 models, okay, in a very short time frame. So the question that most people are asking, okay, where on earth are Google? Because they haven't been releasing models at the rate that others have. And when we think about being late, that is only half the story, because when you've been looking at where Google's been falling behind most, there's one area that stands out above everything else. So I saw this comment on Reddit, and essentially this was underneath a post discussing the Gemini 3.5 Pro leaks. It talks about the fact that visual and world understanding have been a Gemini strong suit, which is very true, but they talk about the fact that they don't or show any agentic or coding benchmark, which is what is worrying me, and since that's where they're so behind. Now, we know that other companies like Anthropic, and even now with Grok 4.5 in the mix, and even GPT 5.6 are, incredibly performant across a wide range of benchmarks. But why is it that Google are falling behind on coding, and why is it that they don't seem to be performing when they could? So that's the real hole that they've been sitting in. The real question is, have Google with Gemini 3.5 Pro, have they climbed out of that hole? And this is where the benchmarks could be telling a real different story. So if you remember those previous benchmarks, okay, they were not essentially the best compared to the other models. We can see that the model they did release was Gemini 3.5 Flash, which is of course just the fast version. But when looking at this in terms of the coding capabilities, it essentially performed less than Opus 4.7 and less than GPT 5.5. So it was only a minor improvement in terms of coding ability over Gemini 3.1 Pro, which was released quite some time ago. So a lot of people are wondering, considering they've tried to push on coding, how comes they still aren't there yet? And I mean, when we do look at the Gemini 3.5 Flash versus Gemini 3.1 Pro, we can see some significant improvement. Now, I would argue in Google's defense, what they're trying to do with the Gemini 3.5 Flash is essentially make this a robust enough model so that it is going to be a sub-agent. So if you're thinking that Google is just going to completely fail on the coding, I don't think that's the case. I think this is a model that is designed to be lightweight, agentic, and just do a lot of coding tasks, essentially a volume game. And the reason that I believe that is because if you understand how Google is pushing this feature. So one thing that I've been seeing when I use Google Gemini is this thing called the Generative UI. And this is super interesting because I don't think most people have seen this. But essentially what this does is that when you ask Google Gemini a question, what tends to happen is it will build a user interface on the fly. Now, honestly, when using this feature, I've tend to found out that it just does this sometimes when it's not completely necessary, which shows Google's eagerness to just display what it's capable of doing. But what it does go to show is that this is essentially the workhorse model where Google is trying to build generative UI experiences. And that's where I believe that Gemini 3.5 Flash, Pro Flash, whatever it was called, the fastest model, that's what this was for. So generative UI, maybe Google are trying to lean into that and they're trying to make that the first experience where things get built on the fly. But in my personal experience, I've seen that sometimes this builds things unprompted, and honest times it just makes the prompt even longer because the model spends time coding in its response when it could have just answered the question in a simple way. So when I've done some simple searches, it's coded not an entire full front end, but it's coded an unrelated, unnecessary visualization with sliders and tweaks in a way that just simply didn't feel useful at all. But I think that's where Google is trying to push on, because if you're going to have a generative UI experience for the next series of Google AI products, which we've seen Google do across many different iterations, this is going to be the model that powers that. So I do think that the newer model is going to be super interesting in terms of coding capabilities, but the reason 3.5 Flash was released in my honest opinion, was to push forward this generative UI. If you haven't had an experience with this, I'd recommend just asking Google Gemini something with 3.5 Flash and then seeing if it comes up with something that it just codes automatically, or just even ask it to code a short UI. Now, if people want to know what exactly Google are doing, you can see someone said, what is Google even doing at this point? And this was in response to a different tweet that was essentially asking, I think it was about the fact that GPT 5.6 was going to come out. And someone essentially asked, okay, well, what is Google even doing at this point? Because we haven't really heard much from them. And Andrew Karan said, there probably will be some simultaneous releases with Gemini 3.5 Pro, possibly including VO4. So we do know that Gemini 3.5 Pro is on the horizon, and that is of course possibly going to come with VO4, as Omni was essentially Omni Flash. So we do know that Flash is just a fast model. So I do think that they're probably still training the next frontier model. So with all of this swirling around, the real question does become, where does Gemini 3.5 Pro need to be for any of this to land? So this is where I have these benchmarks. And remember guys, this is not real. These benchmarks are pure speculation on where Gemini 3.5 Pro needs to land rather than where it currently is. So if we take a look at the current competitive benchmark targets versus today's frontier, Gemini 3.5 Pro does have a steep hill to climb. So we can look at where the SWE Bench Pro is. That's at around 69% for Opus 4.8, 58% for GPT 5.5, and Fable 5 is 80%. So realistically, where Gemini 3.5 Pro needs to get is 69% plus in order to be competitive with other models. And it would need to get 80% in order to lead. Those aren't easy numbers at all. Anthropic have dedicated their entire existence to becoming the #1 coding tool. And for Google to beat them, it's going to take some real innovations. Now that doesn't mean that Google can't get it done. It just means that this is possibly the reason for the delays. Now, once again, we look at Terminal Bench. We've got Fable 5 at around 84%, GPT 5.6 Sol, which was just announced, at 88%. But once again, they're basically going to have to crack 90+% on an already hard benchmark called Terminal Bench 2.1. So when you think about that, that shows just how hard of a, hill they're going to have to climb. Once again, Frontier Code Diamond, they're going to have to get around the 30% mark to lead. And for GDP Val, they're once again going to have to do a lot. And even on Arc AGI and Frontier Math, they're going to really have to improve. Now, realistically, it's quite likely that Google won't lead across the entire board. One thing you've needed to realize is that with recent updates, models don't usually excel across everywhere. There isn't one frontier model that excels at absolutely everything. Usually what we do see is we often see models performing or excelling in one particular domain and then maybe slightly lacking in another. So with Anthropic, their domain is coding. With ChatGPT and math, their one specific domain is mathematics. And then, for example, with Google, we know that their specific domain has been the multimodality. So my best bet for what this is going to be, they probably will be competitive across the standard range of benchmarks, but where multimodality will exist, I believe that's where Google Gemini 3.5 Pro will be leading the charge. And that's what I think actually makes the most sense. Now, you guys might speculate otherwise. You're going to realize whether or not this happens in a week, but you can take someone else's word for this. You don't have to take my word for it, because Logan Kilpatrick tweeted 10 hours ago saying, don't forget to overthink the best case scenario too. So whilst many people are thinking that Google are done, Google is slow, I've been there before and Google have taken the lead. And remember, really smart people work at Google, like some of the world's top minds. These are the guys that invented the transformer, the architecture powering today's current AI revolution. So it wouldn't be best to write them off just yet, because of course we know that they have tons of intelligence, tons of their own compute, and they really tend to make huge leaps and gains where other people don't. So if you're wondering what other leaks are concrete, there is a concrete leak saying that Gemini 3.5 Pro will launch with a massive 2 million token context window, which is by far the largest among major frontier models. Anthropic, Sonnet models, and Opus models only support 1 million tokens, making Gemini's rumored context window 2 times larger, meaning that this would be one of the largest context sizes available, allowing it to handle very large code bases, documents, and long conversations in one go. And while delayed, this feature could be a major strength for Google when it launches. So if you want to see that comparison, we can see that Gemini 3.5 Pro compared to other models, if that context window is true, would make it the largest context window. And we have seen this before when they did Gemini 1.5 Pro. I do believe it had around I think a 1 million context window. And that was something that was unseen from at the time. Now, what you should understand here as well is that this is a true statement. So I saw this tweet underneath that and it says, it doesn't really matter until the context, used is actually good. Llama 4 had a 15 million token context window. So essentially what he's saying here is that like, whilst yes, 2 million context window is absolutely amazing, that doesn't matter unless you're actually having that context window in terms of it being an actually good model. So if you have that 2 million context window and the model is absolutely useless, then it doesn't really make sense if the model can't do anything with that. And I think that is a very good point. The only way that people are going to care about that context window is if the model does perform across a wide range of benchmarks, then it actually matters. And so now we get into some of these tests. And here we got a tweet by HarshiftLucky3. You can see Gemini 3.5 Pro versus Claude Fable High. Now it's important to know here that there's no guarantee that this is essentially going to be true, because when you are testing these models on the LM Arena, sometimes you may get a model that is unnamed. You may get models with code names. So you've got no idea on whether or not those models are real or they are fake. But speculation, as speculation would have it, this is essentially what we are looking at in terms of how the model is going to look, in terms of how it is going to code. So if you want to look at another example, someone tested this on a candle. And so I'll leave a link to all of these tweets on Twitter. And then I've got another example here from the same user where you've got Gemini 3.5 Pro being able to code something pretty complex. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see where Gemini 3.5 Pro lands. In my honest opinion, Google has never disappointed, and they know the expectations are pretty stark if they want to come out of the gate. So with that being said, I think it's pretty easy to say that Google aren't going to disappoint. Maybe we will have to wait longer, but that doesn't mean what we're going to get is worse. And remember that oftentimes, whilst they're developing the model, Anthropic released Fable, GPT released 5.6 Sol, so they may even have to retrain the model or reset expectations as they try to push out more in terms of those benchmarks. That being said, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Gemini and the Google ecosystem, and if you will be using this model when it's released.